Okay, so we have life changes. We have uplifts. On the other hand, refer to the opposite of daily hassles. No, some examples of uplifts are pleasant family outings, good grades, enjoyable TV shows, and tasty meals. Lami nga pagkaon. Life changes, getting a scholarship, graduating from college, marrying the right person, finding a good job, and moving to a better neighborhood requires us to adjust. So, although variety adds spice to life, too much of it might lead to physical illness. So, of course, kanidang sobraan kay nato. Just like for example, no, there are lots of good opportunities for the job. Ay nga, sir, naundang na ba ang atong kahasol, ana, sir? No, wala yun mo, wala. You know why? We have to accept the fact, no nga, and every moves that we make, na sa kanta, no, every step I take, dili, no, we have to accept, no nga, and as the moment that we are still breathing, of course, there are saman, there's always a responsibility that corresponds. Aside from that, of course, kung na responsibility that corresponds, there is also a challenge that corresponds, and it is associated with stress. So of course, anything, either there's a positive things that had happened to us or negative things that had happened to us that can makes us stress. Kaya rin example ninyo, di ba? You are very used to say it nga. Ang kanang mga dato ba, problema sana sila asa nila ibutang ilang kwarta. So, tinuod na ay, no? Kanang mga dato, dato sila na sila business but still they are stressed. Why? Naglibog sila ang usay too much demand sa ilang kaugalingon ba nga they are not satisfied with the wealth that they have. Hunahuna sila mag-invest pataglain bi kanang mas multiply pa atong money. Okay? Conflict. So ang kaning conflict, of course, no? There are four categories on how to uh, about conflict. Sorry, conflict is defined as the feeling of being pulled into two or more directions by opposite motives. So it is classified into four: approach, avoidance, approach, avoidance, and multiple approach avoidance. Asa man mo ani dapita, no? Approach. Conflict is considered the least stressful type. In this type, each of the two goals is desirable and both are within reach. Kaning approach class mo na siyang person who never step back when there is a challenge. Mingon nga, I can still remember the famous quotes of Dominic Torito saying, siya, Dominic, why will you not escape in order to be happy and to live your life independently? Dominic Toretto says, escaping is not freedom. Tinuod eh. Tinuod, no? Just like for example, if your teacher actually give you a task niya karon mingon ka unya na lang nay. Unya na lang nay kapoy bi ana. Hantod na napoy lang yung task nga maabot, maglutod-lutod na. Maproblema na hinung ka, no? So sometimes it's nice, it's good to be that kind of person nga okay, ako ning humnon, no? Ako na yung bahaton. I will actually make moves to resolve this one. Next is avoidance. Oh, conflict is more stressful because we are motivated to avoid each of the two negative goals. So yet avoiding one of them requires approaching the other. So just like for example, um ang gibuhat ani no ingon, we may not want to dance in a class culminating activity but we fear that we will get low rating for class standing. So gipasayaw kasi mong maestro, oy kanang Juan sayaw ka ha. Oh, dapat jud ka mo sayaw kay graduhan ra ba mo. Of course, ikaw po mauwaw ka mo sayaw. Pero you cannot hide the fact nga kung di ka mo sayaw, wala kay performance score. So either ways, even though you avoid, still wala lang gyapon na resolba no kay because you will be facing another consequence. Next is approach avoidance. Conflict is experienced when the same goal produces both approach and avoidance motives. People and things have their good and bad points. So playing computer games may be entertaining to you, no? But your allowance would cost a lot of burdens from your parents. Kay magsige magkagpalod, no? Though nalingaw ka, but on the other side ang imong parents nag wala nagmaya kay ngano imong allowance bisig kag palod kansim kaayo no dako-dako mas makadungog man siya sa expenditure. Okay? Multiple approach avoidance. So conflict is the most complex form of conflict because each of several alternative courses of action has pluses and minuses. So this kind of conflict might arise the night before an examination when we are faced with a choice of studying or going to a friend's birthday celebration. So each alternative has both positive and negative aspects. So like for example, exam ninyo ugma no? Onya, birthday po sa imong best friend. Now, if you're going to go to the birthday of your best friend, of course, surely she will be happy. Kaya you were there, no? Unya, ang imong exam, wala, patay, no? Gamay mo score. If you're going to study instead of going to your best friend's birthday, surely you can get a high score. But of course, you cannot help your friend to get upset for someone refusing to show up to her invitation. So, either ways, kuan kano kanang lisod, no? So that is the different types of conflict. Now, ang pangutana, who can be stressed? Na type A, na type B behavior. So, what is this? Napagay C, napagay D, type A, type B, and D, no? Nadiri. So, I will just leave it to you, no? To read about this one. Now we have psychological moderators of stress, so self-efficacy, psychological hardiness. So part of psychological hardiness, we have commitment, and then of course the sense of humor. So what is this? Research suggests that humor can moderate the effects of stress. So there are many possibilities that humor can help us cope with stress. So of course, no, like for example, na yung mga tao no nga like parehaan na nilang vice ganda no though they have the problems no mingon tag in reality sa ilang kinabuhi namo mo na sila yung mga bugat nga problems pero because of their humor mura na siya kanang ma-set aside no dili ta kaingon nga bati na siya. That is good, that is one way. Why? Because that is one way of guarding your ego, not to become or not to actually experience psychosomatic disease. What is psychosomatic disease, sir? Simple. When the mind suffers, the body suffers. Mm. And then we have the predictability and control. Social support is very important, no? So here we have the physical management. Oh, require direct class, no? Zumba in 20 minutes. Nga, eat a balanced meal. Of course, mingon sila no nga, tell me what you eat and I will tell you who you are. Na po inana nga sayings, no? Of course, uh, tell me tell me what you eat and I will tell you what is your naman thoughts. Tinuod, no? I like if you eat a very oily food, daron ka. You are easily get tempered, no? Mm. So, get enough sleep. Ang pagkatulog class dili siya ingon no nga like karon matog ka, no? Nya ugma di ka matug tug na pud ka sunod adlaw dili siya ingana no nga mo compensate just like for example from the past weeks kung wala gani kay tarong tug ato mga ihap-ihap nimo nga 20 ka oras imo alkansi because actually normally no our it is actually required coming from the medical expert that a person has to sleep 8 to 10 hours 8 hours siguro 8 to 10 lagi sakto lang 8 to 10 parehasad og kanang inom ta glass of water 8 to 12 inana. Now if utangan ka na kay dugay kay ka natog kay nag-email ka ah dili na mo compensate no because you are growing older you cannot compensate that one that already happens asam ka mamawi of course sa food supplement and vitamins ara na lang no and also to have enough sleep on the other day no nga moabot dili kay dili lang jud ka matug. So makakuan po na siya no, maka-insomnia. Okay? Take a warm bath or shower. So relaxing no. Kaning take a warm bath and shower. Wa man tay bath no or shower. But of course, pwede mo na to ma-perform. Like for example, siguro no kanang dili ko ingon nga init jud kayo. That is one way kuno nga maka-help sa imong body to release sa mga stress. Do the following: drink 8 to 10 glasses of water daily, improve your posture, buy a hand gripper or a stress release ball, reduce some of your costs. Um, the only thing that right now, no, nowadays it's too easy for us to kuha naman, no, to perform exercise because we can actually watch the videos on YouTube. So mo lang di na go for a walk, no. Give yourself a time to date yourself. Okay. So last but not the least, we have behavioral management. So of course, one way to perform behavioral management is kanang gardening, no, that is very famous diri sa tua sa probinsya, no. Gardening, stitching, drawing, writing poems, or composing songs. But if wala gyud diri, no, like for example, me personally, if you're going to ask me how did you relieve your stress, I sing, no, I sing, I date myself, yeah, I perform exercise. So that's one way that you can actually manage your behavior. Because, for example, kung gisapot ka, uh, do something, no, to alter your sapot sa imong no, tantrums. So next we have cognitive restructuring. So last but not the least, of course, what is the worst that could happen? So meaning the cognitive restructuring class, just like for example, no, kanang applying what ifs. That is one way of doing or performing cognitive restructuring. What ifs ba in all the things that you do? Just like for example, mingon ka, lagot iko sa kong uyab da. Before nimo replyan nimong uyab, muna sa ka nga, what if kung ako siyang reply nga nino niya, masuko ra ba dahil siya, no? May posibilidad nga mas mosamot pa among away. Nya kung what if kung dili po ni nako buhaton, bisig mugara po siya, no? Pero whatever it is, of course, there are choices. Unya, unsa may ako ang ikakuan ninyo ano, no, ika-share, no, not advice because I am not an expert, but inani lang jud no nga, dili lang jud ka, like for example, you have to think logically. Kung imo lang buhaton, I am pretty sure you know already kung unsay personality sa imuhang partner or sa imuhang friend or sa imong mamag papa. Makailam jud kana nila. Like for example, unsa kutob ang ilang sukdanan silang kasuko ba na may uban nga they are easily get tempered. If they are those type of person, you better ko ano, kana bang imo lang dalon sa hinay-hinay ba. Kay kung imong pakalitan, of course, you will be suman magkuan gyud mo no, mag-collide gyud mo duha. So I think that's the kuan no, mo na siya effective way. Now, is the worst that could happen really so terrible? Oh, just like for example, atong gitawag na ko ninyo ganihag mind conditioning. So of course, it is actually the thoughts of the person, or that is it is actually on how we perceive the event, no, nga man makahimo na to stress, maka-cause na to be stress. So of course, ato lang po hunahunao no nga unsa day mahitabo ana, like for example katong gingon ako ninyo nga naay ni buto inyo silingan nang hasi ra gani kay nanukdok og sundang lain kay gunahuna magunahuna lapat yun mi ani. So of course you have to unsa man imo sa siyang i-kuano, imo sa siyang i i-verify ang imuhang feelings, ang imuhang thinking for you to avoid from getting stress. So I think I have shared a lot, no? I hope you have learned a lot also. Thank you so much. Have a great day.